Hi friends, my name is Yeya. I'm a content creator and photographer. And today I want to talk about apartment hunting in Northern California because it's been real. There are some highs, some lows, and I want to get into all of it with you. I feel like when I've seen these sorts of videos from other creators, it's very helpful, you know, when they share the price range, the areas they're looking in. So I kind of wanted to make a video about that because it is the current phase in which I find myself right now. So yeah, I just wanted to make a video about this. I hope you guys enjoy it. And without further ado, let's begin. Okay, so the first apartment we saw was in St. Helena. It was a really nice layout. I didn't love the neighborhood and sort of this feeling of like, you know that theme song from Weeds, like little boxes made of ticky-tacky little boxes on the hillside. Little boxes, all the same. And that's how it felt. A little uninspiring. The layout was great, no complaints, but in the Zillow listing, it did say like it had its own little backyard and it did feel private. It was like open and seeping, sort of spilling into other people's backyards. Like if someone were to leave their dog out, the dog can easily come to our backyard. And if someone were to walk up that neighborhood and that area, they could literally just walk up to the sliding doors of the bedroom. I don't know, I just felt a little too exposed, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And so we had to discard it. So the next apartment we saw was in Napa. It was in the countryside. The Zillow listing made it seem like we were gonna have a beautiful view. And then when we got there, it was like the back house of a main house. And then the backyard was huge. It had all these beautiful little like aesthetic vintagey corners, which I was like feeling. The gardening was included. And I think that one was like possibly $2,900 maybe, or $2,700. I don't remember right now, but it was around that range. And it was small. Like the livable area was really, really small. So I had to discard it. But initially what attracted me was like the Nancy Meyers vibe that it had going for it. And then the backyard was all like fenced. And they were basically blocking out the gorgeous views of Napa and the mountains, which I did not get. So it didn't feel expansive. And we're looking for expansive energy, you know, a place that inspires us. So we had to discard it. This next one was also in Napa, and it was literally like countryside, mountain, no neighbors, very remote, like a little apartment on top of the garage of the main house, which I was like, I kind of want to hear if we're gonna have to be, you know, listening to like the garage doors opening underneath us from the people in the main house, which were also the owners. And this one was $2,500, which is like pretty sweet. But when we got there, you know, it's like nature, wildlife. Again, gorgeous. Saw the apartment. It had like this Copenhagen-y, like Danish aesthetic that I love with like the slanted windows, and it was really pretty. And it was $2,500. That's like a steal. But again, it's like super far from like, you know, the city, which in this case is San Francisco for us. And so once we were like in love with the space itself, the owner says to us, yeah, so I have to be transparent with you guys and let you know that there are rattlesnakes here in the summer. And we were like, okay. And she was like, yeah, so like that's part of the deal. They'll be around. I'm looking into, this was her solution. She said, I'm looking into potentially getting a king cobra, but it's really hard to find and I can't find one anywhere. So I really want to get a king cobra because they eat rattlesnakes. And if you haven't seen a king cobra, they're huge. And we have a cat, which I wasn't gonna let, you know, roam around. Rattlesnakes, I think once summer begins, they're around till September, October. And this was a life or death situation. So we slept on it, or more so, I didn't sleep on it. And I was like waking up my boyfriend, Ricardo, like, I don't think I wanna live there. He's like, hey, like rattlesnakes is enough, and not wanting to be so far from the city like is enough of a reason too. And so we had to discard it, but I had already like mood boarded it and everything. Here are some of the images, but we had to let it go. Okay, so this next one we saw in Napa as well, more close to like downtown Napa and like the suburbs itself. It was like this complex. And honestly, it was a condo vibe. I really don't like condos. It gives me that, you know, tracing back again to like the theme song from Weeds. They all look the same, little boxes on the hillside. I can't deal. We went in, they showed us all the amenities, super incredible amenities, the pool, everything. I was noticing the neighbors and there were some characters in the area and I was like, I don't know how I feel about this. Once our guide opened like the door to the building so we could get to the apartment, it was super, super dark and like dirty and like musty. I don't know if musty is even a word, but we're gonna go with it. And then we entered the apartment and we were like, oh, super spacious. The bathrooms were huge. There were 2 full bathrooms and 2 full bedrooms. And then like they each had a walk-in closet. There was a living room. There was like a little outdoor area. After I looked around, I was like, damn, this is really amazing. And like the apartment was $2,600, so that's pretty good. I turned around and I asked the guide, so what about the neighbors? Are they noisy? Are they loud? Is it chill? And she's like, literally her demeanor changed. And she was like, I can't tell you that. And I was like, you just told me everything I need to know. Cause that shit cray. She was like, I'm not allowed to say. What I can say is that I haven't had any complaints. And I was like, okay. So Ricardo and I left. She gave us all the information on a paper. We got in the car, and then Ricardo starts looking at like the reviews from the building complex / management, and it was all like 2 stars and below. Like, don't live here. The neighbors are really noisy, like the animals, and like they don't do anything. It was like a bunch of really bad reviews, and I was like, whoa. And Ricardo was like, damn. And we were like, no way. But anyways, the vibes were off. And so we had to discard it. You know, sometimes if it's too good to be true, it's because it is, period. This next one was in Calistoga, which is an area within Napa County, and it was really cute. The bedroom and the like little office space was so small. Were like super tiny, but like the main area was nice. The kitchen was updated. The washer dryer was new, and it had like a huge backyard. And the backyard had a lemon tree. It had like a few vines for like grapes, and it had an orange tree, I believe. Citrus, that's how you say it. And there was like 2 others that I'm not remembering right now, but it was big. And it was also a back house to a main house. That part we didn't love. I think it was either 2,500 or 2,700. So it was pretty sweet. Like Ricardo and I come from paying $32, $30 in like Los Angeles and Boston. Anything under that is always like, whoa. So it was a pretty sweet deal, to be honest. The town was really nice. Like we were 5 minutes walking distance from the town. It felt safe. It felt like a little fairy tale forest cutie area. Then we slept on it. And the next day I spoke with Ricardo and I was like, I don't think I want to go like further up north, you know? I really do love San Francisco, and I think I want to be closer to the city, if not in the city, and closer to family and friends, which we have here. Overall, the place was super cute. It was super perfect, especially if you're like a digital nomad. It was the perfect place. You could like put a hammock in the backyard. It was really beautiful, but it felt really far from the city. And Ricardo was like, then why are we looking at apartments further up north? And I'm like, I don't know. I just saw the price and I thought it was perfect. So we had to discard it, unfortunately. This next one hurts because it was gorgeous. It was remodeled. It had this like Scandinavian energy. Like it was like modern Scandinavian design. It was small. It was like, I think it was like a total of maybe 600 square feet. And we're 2 people plus a cat. We were willing to squeeze in there because it just felt so nice. And it was in this area called Mill Valley, which is like super beautiful. Lots of redwood forests. We were in love. We were like, where do we sign? Blah, blah, blah. She's like, okay, I'll let you know. I have to like, you know, I have appointments with other people, blah, blah, blah. But we were like, that's our apartment. That's our place. Like, this is the one. It's going to happen, blah, blah, blah. So this Scandi Energy place was $4,000. And I had pitched $35 to the owner. And I was like, if you'll consider, you know, the space for the right tenants, we'll take good care of it, blah, blah, blah. Like I had never actually like hustled for a place. And obviously, maybe not obviously. I mean, I guess I can be kind of delusional in my like hustle nature, but she went in a different direction. And so we had to let it go. I had the same mood board from the rattlesnake property in Napa. And I was like, oh, this transfers to this space. So like, I already have the style, the vibe, but it was a no. So we had to let it go. This next one was also in Mill Valley. It was like literally under like a beautiful redwood forest. But when we got there, the block was aligned with a bunch of cars, and there was a high school right there. And we were like, this feels a little cramped and crowded. Like having the roads sort of filled with cars felt weird. We got there, the guy who was like managing the place was like super, you know, California cool. And he was like, yeah, go ahead, go look. And we looked, the tile was so ugly and outdated. And there was like little like junkyard or just people's junk like outside on the other side of the fence. And like there was this little balcony in the bedroom that looked over to like someone's junk that wasn't from the property we were looking at. So it was like, this doesn't feel vibey. We're not vibing here. And that's okay. Like we were definitely interested because I think it was 3,000 if I'm not mistaken. It was spacious. It had 2 bedrooms, it had 1 full bathroom, and then it had like the little backyard and the little balcony in the bedroom. It's not worth it if what I'm looking at outside is someone's junk, and it felt a little cramped outside. Obviously the livable area, again, ugly ass tile, super outdated. We were just not feeling it, and the guy kind of noticed, and he was like, hey, if you're not feeling it, you're not feeling it. Like, it's fine. Like, you don't want to invest in something that you don't love. And we were like, yeah, thank you for understanding. And so we left. This next apartment we saw in Berkeley, which I had heard about this town from watching Parenthood, which I love, seen it twice. And I was like, oh, cool, let's go check it out. Let's see like if the vibes are right. And they were. We saw this apartment on like a main avenue. I don't know the name right now. I'm trying to think of the price. Why am I blanking? I'll put the price somewhere on the screen. We saw this apartment. It had like a mezzanine. It was kind of like, I don't know how to say it in English. Estrecho? I'll find the word, but it was like a column of an apartment. No privacy. Ricardo, who works from home, and I work from home, we were gonna be able to hear each other's conversations and sort of like the sound would travel, which isn't great for us. The aesthetic was like on point. It did come furnished, which is not something that we're looking for. Like I do wanna decorate my own home. We do have our own taste. We are excited to get into that and make more content about home decor. So we had to discard it. I think the parking was also a turnoff because it was these parking lots that sort of like do this and you have to like park and then the car moves up in a machine and then someone else parks and then you sort of, I don't get that futuristic shit. So I'm just like I was like, this is just gonna be a pain in the ass. Like I can't, just the parking alone. But the apartment just felt a little small for us, I would say. The common area was really nice. It had a beautiful terrace looking out to San Francisco, Oakland, like Berkeley. You could see everything 360 and it was super nice. But it wasn't for us. There was something that we were like, I don't want to be here. And that's okay. That's okay. I hope this helped if anyone's in their Northern California apartment hunt. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Everything we saw, we did find through Zillow. We haven't used any other website because when I used Redfin, they kind of had the same listings that they had on Zillow. And I think apartments.com was pretty much the same as well. And then also Facebook Marketplace can be kind of like a drag. So we stuck to Zillow because like the communication flowed with the people on Zillow. So we trust that website. What else can I tell you? Yeah, we're still looking. It's been a process. We're being patient. We still have a few more weeks here in the apartment that we're staying at in Napa. Definitely looking for, I don't want to say my forever home, but like looking for that space that's going to help you expand and grow and become, you know, that next version that you're meant to be. It takes time. It's important. And we're putting a lot of, you know, energy and intention on this search because damn it, we are in California and there are some pretty cute, spectacular, adorable places with charm and personality, and that's what we want. We want charm and personality and like warmth and good energy. We don't want, you know, a copy paste. We don't want a condo. It needs to feel expansive and we need to be able to be creative. I guess I'll see you guys in the next one and hopefully we'll have an apartment by then. If you want to know more about the process and get, you know, live updates, then you can follow me on Instagram. I keep everyone posted there. I'll see you guys in the next one.